Already, you know it. Top everything, you know it. King already, you know it. My body soul got a king body. Body gon' shine, bling bling body. Calling all the shots, ring body.
Okay, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tashana. If you are new here, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for subscribing, liking, all that good stuff. If you read the title, you already know I'm going to be talking about 10 signs or 10 ways to tell he's wasting your time. He's not that into you and he's just wasting your time, and you need to cut it out. We're not doing F-boys, we're not doing cheaters, we're not doing men that don't know what they want. We're not doing any of that. We're cutting people off and we're sticking to people who are committed or willing to commit, and people who are genuinely for us. They don't have any ulterior motives, anything like that. So sign number 1, he tells you simple, but not that simple, because some women want to believe that they can fix it, they can change his mind, or if they stick around long enough, he'll change his mind. Sis, you're worth it, first of all, and you're worth more than someone who is not sure about you. Whether or not he's not sure at the moment, the person that is for you is going to be sure of you from the very beginning. Girl, if he tells you straight up he's not looking for anything serious, take his word for it. He's serious. Men are pretty simple. They don't normally make things super complicated. They usually say what they mean, and I feel like us as women take it and turn it into what we want to turn it into, but they're pretty much straightforward for the most part. So if he's telling you straight up, I'm not interested, I don't want a relationship, take it for what it is, move along to the next person. There's too many fishes in the sea to sit around and let somebody waste your time. Number 2, homeboy just want to meet up at his house or wants to meet up at your house. It's never let's go to dinner, or let's go for a picnic, or let's go to the movies, or anywhere public. It's always come give me a link at my house, or I'll come give you a link at your house. If he's doing that, cut. If he's doing that, chances are, F-boy. If you're on that type of time, fine. Like, if that's what you want. If he's always wanting you to meet up in private, that's a sign that he's trying to hide you from the world. He doesn't want anybody to see you out. Maybe he already has a girlfriend and he doesn't want anybody to see you guys together. And yeah. All right, sign number 3 is he plays hard to get, and he plays a lot of games. So if you text him like 3 o'clock, no, you text him in the morning. No, he probably texts you in the morning. Hi, good morning, beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And you text him back and you're like, all is well, I just got up, blah, blah, how are you? And you're responding to his first message and he takes forever to respond. And then he'll respond like maybe way later and be like, oh, sorry, I forgot to text you back. I got tied up, or I was busy with so and so. And he says something that's like elaborate, like, oh, I'm so busy, I was doing this elaborate thing and I'm important and other people need me. If he does stuff like that, he's wasting your time. He's playing games and he wants to make himself seem big in your eyes, and he's playing hard to get, And the natural thing or natural response of human beings when people are ignoring them or taking too long to respond is for you to chase. Like you're going to get in chase mode. And even though you don't really like this person, because they're playing hard to get, you start to trick yourself into thinking that you like the person more than you actually do. And then it becomes, you find yourself chasing this person. If he's doing that to you, he's wasting your time, and he's probably just a F-boy, and he's playing games, and you don't want somebody in your life that's playing games. Worst, when you know the average person is like this every day. Everybody is using their phone, whether to scroll through Instagram, and even though some persons might turn off their notifications, you still check apps, you still check your messages, you still do all of that. So if somebody, not even just about a guy now, if somebody is taking too long to respond to you, they're playing games and they're trying to make themselves look more elevated in your eyes, and it's all a game, all a facade, don't fall for it. Cut them off. Like, nobody is that busy, nobody is that important, nobody. Just cut them off. And they're playing games. That means they think you're better than them in their eyes, and they're trying to bring themselves up in your mind. I don't play games. If I'm at my phone, I'm going to respond right away. I'm not about the games. Don't play any games with me. You're going to get cut off. That's okay. Number 4. Apart from him telling you straight up, I'm not interested, I don't really want a relationship right now, I'm just seeing where whatever goes, blah, blah, and him telling you straight up, this is not what I'm looking for, I'm not looking for a serious relationship. There is this one. He's telling you one thing, but you're just so confused. You're just so confused. You don't know where you stand. You feel like you're in a relationship, but then you don't feel like you're in a relationship. You're just confused. This guy will do some stuff and make you feel like, yes, this is it. And then another time he's just out of it. Like you're confused. If you are in a relationship with somebody, you shouldn't be confused. You should know where you stand. There shouldn't be any cheating at all. There shouldn't be any talking to anybody else at all. There shouldn't be any type of, well, I guess. There shouldn't be any of that. If there's any of that, he's wasting your time. Don't make a boy waste your time. Don't make nobody dry foot son waste your time. Don't. Cut them off. Cut them off. And if you don't feel like cutting them off, sis, if you don't feel like cutting them off, if you don't feel like cutting him off, make sure you're doing your own thing, okay? I'm queen of that too. I'm not even going to front. Like, I'm queen of that. If you don't know where somebody stands in your life and you're still trying to test it out, make sure you're doing your own thing, because you don't want, at the end of the day, you're heartbroken because you put your all in and then you realize this person never wanted anything serious. We don't do heartbreaks. So if it is that you're not sure where you stand, make sure you're doing your own thing. So you're dating. Yeah, I believe strongly in dating, and dating means you can date multiple people. If this person never puts any serious commitment in, you're fine and free to date other people. And I feel like a lot of, especially where I'm from, my country, I feel like people don't date. I feel like people just start talking to people and rush into like, oh, we're in a relationship, without it being said or anything. They just start talking and then they go straight to, okay, we're in a relationship. You're not necessarily in a relationship with somebody if you're talking to them. If you're talking to the person, then you can talk to other people and test out as the female and see who you like. Like, I feel like women nowadays, they feel like it's up to the men to say, okay, you're my girlfriend or you're the one I want. I feel like women have the power and women have the choice to also test out and see and decide who they want to be with. And I feel like that's your power, and I feel like you should own that and not let anybody tie you down before you're ready to decide who you want. So if it is that you're confused and you don't know where you stand with this person, make sure you're dating and you understand we're dating and you can date other people as well. Tip number 5, and this happens with people in general. You're always the one putting in effort. It's one-sided. You're always the one to remember birthdays. You're always the one to initiate dates. You're always the one to call in the morning. You're always the one to check up. You're always the one to use your money, even as far as use your money. They always don't have any money when it's time for you to pay for anything. He's always like, I got you, like I'll get you another time or whatever. If it's one-sided, he's wasting your time and he's probably seeing multiple people and he can't manage to keep up with everyone. So you're just feeling the shorter end of the stick, like you're just getting the short end. So if it is that you're always putting in effort, stop. One of my favorite things to do is whenever I feel like I'm putting in effort with people and I don't feel it being reciprocated, I usually just freeze. Like I stop in my tracks. It happens to everyone. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Like sometimes you're so excited about a person or even a friendship, whatever it is, even like strangers, and it doesn't matter how strong or firm you are, it doesn't matter. Like it happens to everyone and it's nothing to be ashamed of. So you'll find yourself like trying to keep up with this person and text this person and making sure that they're good and all of that. And then you don't feel it being reciprocated. I usually just stop in my tracks. Like once I catch myself, I'm intuitive, so I know when it doesn't feel right. So usually I would stop and watch what happens after I stop reaching out or I stop doing anything at all. And then it usually subsides, like it usually just goes and the relationship just usually pretty much ends. And then while it's ending, because then you're the one always reaching out, so you have the stronger emotion. Once your emotions now subside, that's when the person comes running back, because they're usually narcissists as well, and they like attention and you're feeding them the attention and they like admiration and all of that. So once they realize that they're not getting it anymore, they usually miss it after a couple months or whatever it is. They run coming back now like, oh, you stopped checking up on me, or they say something like stranger or whatever. Don't fall for it. It's a one-sided relationship. You don't need that in your life. You don't need nonchalant people in your life. You need people who are all about you. And one quote that changed my life was, don't stick around people that you love. Stick around people that love you. So go where you feel like you're loved and then show those people love. And that will change your life. I'm telling you, that will change your life. Because why you want to stick around people that you love? They didn't tell you that they love you back. So go to where people love you, and the love that you have in your heart, go show them that love. You can learn to love people. So learn to love those people and get along with those people, and your life will transform, telling you. Tip number 6, he is emotionally unavailable. And this is a little bit different from him telling you, I'm not interested, or it being mixed signals. This guy is just incapable of loving you, showing you any type of affection. He's just incapable, whether it be because he has past issues, whether it be because he had a bad breakup or he had family issues, whatever it is. This guy is just emotionally cold and unavailable. He just cannot love you. You're not going to change him. He needs counseling. He needs a therapist. He needs to find some type of activity that can bring some life into him. You're not going to change him, and you need to leave. Tip number 7, he always cancels. He always cancels on you. You'll be planning stuff. You'll be ready. You'll be planning, talking about it. He seems hype about it, and you guys are planning. Everything seems normal, and the day off, he cancels. That's because he probably maybe even live with somebody, probably has somebody else talking to. You're just not, he just doesn't find you worthy enough for him to get up and get dressed and come meet you. Or he has somebody else, like I said, and something came up with them that he could not meet you. Meeting you would sabotage the rest of what he has going on, and so he cancels. And then he doesn't answer his phone for the whole night, and then tomorrow, or 2 days after, he calls you or texts you and gives you a full-on excuse that he couldn't tell you 5 minutes before the date, or 10 minutes before the date, or even 15 minutes after the date. He couldn't tell you that during that time. He calls you like 2 days after and tells you this elaborate excuse that he has, that happened, that he had no control over, and that's the reason why he couldn't meet you. But let's plan something else, or let's just continue talking like nothing happened. If he does that to you, sis, he's wasting your time and you need to move. Number 8, you don't know anything about this person. He doesn't open up. You're the one always sharing with him. He doesn't want to let you in too much. He doesn't tell you anything. You don't really know anything about him. Like, you know, like the little surface stuff, but anything on a deeper level, you don't know about him. He doesn't open up to you. If somebody is in your life like that and you don't know anything about them on a deeper level, it means they don't find you worthy of opening up to you, or they know what their intentions are with you, and they know if they open up to you on certain levels, it's going to be too much attachment, and they know what their intentions are and they don't want to let you in too much. So if he's not telling you anything really like deep, or you're having serious conversations, anything like that, he doesn't want to talk about future stuff, plan anything in advance of like 4 months, anything like that. If he doesn't make plans with you in advance and talk about stuff that's coming up maybe like next year, it means that he doesn't see a future with you. He knows what he's on, and he's not trying to get too involved, too attached to you, and you need to cut him off. Or if you feel like you just want to play around, which women cannot really play around because we always get emotionally involved, so I would just say cut it off. But if you feel like you know what you want as well and you're dating, like I said, you can do that. But if you're looking for a serious committed relationship, this guy is not the guy. It's not the guy. Number 9, you have not met any of his parents, any of his friends. Every time that conversation comes up, he changes the topic. You're not worthy of meeting friends. You're not worthy of meeting family, even though you've been talking for months and months and months. Not talking about the pushy females here. We're not talking about them. We're talking about you've been talking to this person for months and you've never had a conversation to meet any of his friends. It's always so convenient that nobody's available whenever, if you even plan something, whenever the planning time comes. It's so convenient that the family members or the friends are not available. He's wasting your time. He doesn't see a future with you, and he doesn't want you to meet anybody, and you get too entangled with him. And finally, number 10, he always talks about him. He doesn't really ask you anything about you. He doesn't really care to get to know you on a deeper level. He has no interest. He's just there, like a little blob, just there. Or whenever he's talking, he doesn't use any us. Whenever you're talking about anything, he doesn't use the term us. He always is independent of you. He's always making sure he says like he is planning this, or what you are planning that, or whatever. He doesn't really say, let us do this together or anything like that. And if he even invites you anywhere, it's you asking him, can I come, or what do you think, or do you want me to come? You're always the one feeling like you have to include yourself. If you feel like you have to include yourself, that's another telltale sign that he's just using you, maybe for just casual link up, sex and whatever, and he doesn't really see a future with you, and you're worth more than that. Like, I know sometimes it's hard for women to really appreciate themselves, and especially if you've been hearing over the years like, oh, you're this, you're that, you're whatever. Listen, you have to learn to love yourself and embrace yourself. And once that's done, I feel like what you accept from others, you raise the standard and you won't accept other people's bull. Learn to love yourself, embrace yourself. If you're here watching this video, if you had to search for it, if you had to be looking it up, questioning anything, it means that you're not comfortable in the situation that you're in. And I would say just leave, take a break, and see if he comes back or whatever it is. And I wouldn't even advise like dating somebody that comes back, because I feel like if somebody valued you in the first place, they would not have left. So I would say just give it a break and focus on yourself. Learn to love yourself, embrace yourself, and then once he starts doing anything, you'll just know to cut him off right off the bat. We all learn, we've all been there. It's nothing to be ashamed of. So that's my 10 tips, 10 signs to know he's wasting your time, he's not that into you. And hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.